Yeah. Took a lot of hard to get about the last 100 years at least. So this is kind of like on sides and they've got to do everything manually. They just out the miles as they go. So posting this is usually gin, but then like small batch bourbons, I kind of experiment things. And then that one from my computer, so on continuous column still. And the computer runs it 5 days a week, 24 hours a day. And we just turn it off on weekend. They don't do some annual stuff. It's not. It's more efficient, but it's also great. It's got electronics and all that first. And then one cool project we did here recently is a little free lakes Christmas sale. You guys like that stuff? So like they made their first batch like 3 months ago, and it didn't turn out right. It had too much alcohol and not enough carbonation. So they called us up and they're like, "Hey, you got like 5,000 gallons of beer we might have to throw away. Do you have any ideas for it?" And we said, "Bring it down. We'll distill it and see how it turns out." So like one day they came with a big beer tanker truck from Cleveland, and they pulled it back here, and it took like 10 hours to fill up 3 of these things. And then we spent 3 weeks trying to pasta and these, and it came out like Christmas ale with Abuja. So it's pretty interesting. And then we barreled it, and then like we'll like leave it for 4 to 6 years and see how it turns out. But so we'll do like different ways of aging it, like different types of barrels, so, different processes, so should be good. We're not allowed to call it whiskey. Definitely not bourbon. It's got to be spirits distilled from hops and grains. Yeah. Yeah, everything they make has their beer. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun place. So now let's taste it.
All right. Twist my arm, right, Scotty?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Wow. Grab seats at the table. Taste those flavors like after I tell you, and you'll get citrus notes no matter what. It has lemon, lime, orange, and grapefruit peel. So it's a more refreshing gin than like the old school kind of gins, and it's versatile. It's perfect for any kind of thing. To me, it tastes good enough that I'm just drinking from soda and squeeze some lime.
I don't know. Is he walking around? What was your name?
Joe.
Joe? Nice to meet you, Joe.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for letting us sneak in.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys come from?
Between
Akron and Youngstown.
Yep.
Did you come for the football weekend or do something different?
Just sounds
Something different.
Yeah, this is more fun.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. That's a good attitude.
Like a lemon drop.
Yeah.
What do you think there, Scott?
So most people come in for bourbon and then they taste the gin and they're like, "Oh, gin's a lot better than I thought it was." So like, in the last 20 years or so, American craft distillers are making it way more. And then the four-bill gin, this is well, go like the four-bill is what you just had. And this is four-bill strawberry gin. So in the springtime, we'll buy 5,000 pounds of strawberries from local farms, and then divide above them with these 500-pound permeable bags. Stick a bag in a tank of gin for 24 hours, and then pull it out with a forklift, stick it in the press, and squeeze all the remaining juice and alcohol from it. So that produces all natural color and flavor. This one, it's good year round, but it's great for like summery cocktails, especially if it makes you like lemon flavors. So you can make a fresh lemonade and mix it, or any time of year have like a French 75 or a martini with a lemon twist, or just get your favorite lemon seltzer water with all that good stuff. And make some my bad.
Right. Mhm. Smells like summer.
Smell. Smells
So
pretty.
yeah, it's like that. And then the third one is Gildan. So this originated with Cameron Benjamin. So he's like the most successful local restaurateur. He's got a fancy restaurant in Fort North called Gildan House. So he wanted to commission exclusive gin for that place. And so we took the 4 built-ins, interactive vine peels, added cardamom bars, which makes it a little more pungent, and then steeped chamomile flowers and roasted it for 2 days. So this one is perfect for martinis, especially dirty ones. So for whatever reason, like flowers and olive oil just mixed together perfectly. So if you like dirty martinis, you taste it with this. Cause just
I do.
and then this costs my gin and tonic.
I like vodka and olives.
You want some? No.
Are you?
Smells like gin.
That could go down really easy, really fast.
Yeah, it's like a tonic.
Mhm.
Makes it a good cocktail. So like the first year or two is exclusive to that restaurant. Now we sell it at all the big stores and all over.
I like the strawberry better.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their favorite on the tour. Like they're all like situational depending on like what
Yeah.
they want.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably better for
The
mixing.
fourth and final thing is the segue from the gin tasting to the bourbon tasting because this is 4 built-in again, but then we age it 1 year and use bourbon barrel. So the wood tames the pininess, the juniper berries, and brings out the other spices in the gin nicely. Plus, you get the notes of vanilla and caramel that come from the white oak. So it turns it into something distinctive. It smells really good, and then you can really get creative with what
That's
top
good.
up on it. So it's good for like a Manjula or like a sweet tea, or it mixes well with stuff you wouldn't imagine. Like somebody on the tour one time said,
Excuse me.
root beer, which I had never thought of. So I went down to Kroger,
Oh.
root beer, came back, mixed it up, and it's really good. And it's food soda, a couple dashes of things to bitters. You can get creative with this one.
That's probably a winner there. You want some?
No, I'll smell it.
Okay. What proofs are these gins?
They're all 88 proof.
88. And how long does it take you to distill a batch of gin? And do you batch them all up? Is it?
Yeah, just like 24 hours.
Okay.
You missed that part.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, so it takes 24 hours to make the jam, except for like the one with strawberries. We had another 24 hours, one with flowers, another 48 hours of just steeping the strawberries and the flowers in like 150 fruit tank jam. And then after that, we filter it.
Okay. Like, there's not any burn. Really?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's something totally different. It's more gin than bourbon.
Yeah, a little spice in there. Like,
So now let's give you some water and cleanse your palate now and taste bourbon. So follow me through this door.
I'm not gonna
Taste it. Okay.
Oh, go.
No, I think we're just.
Yeah, we don't have to know. We're waiting for that one.
Okay. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Oh, you stopped recording. Nope. No, you didn't. Never mind. We'll cut that part out. Sweet smell of Rick House, baby.
Yeah, so here we've got 4,567 barrels now. I just saw a sign of the latest tally. So one of the first questions I always get is why do we stack them vertically? Because when you go to a distillery tour in Kentucky, you see they're always on their side. And that's because one, it's their tradition. And two, they have gigantic brick houses that have way more space than we have. Like Buffalo Traces holds like 55,000 barrels. So we've got like this side's pretty much totally full, and then there's another half in the warehouse that's about the same size. Like some of the newer stuff's going into there. So we have enough room, but we just do it this way really to save room. Logistically, it's easier, but it doesn't affect the flavor of the bourbon either way. And then so they come from Speyside Cooperage in Jackson, Ohio. So it's like a rural Ohio success story because it had been a successful cabinet factory for like 100 years, and it used to employ the whole town and run 3 shifts a day. But as manufacturing was leaving the U.S. in the 80s, it was slowly going downhill until 2015. It was dead, and then Speyside Cooperage from Scotland got an opportunity from Jobs, Ohio, to take over the factory and convert everything from cabinetry to bourbon barrel production. And so now they're back up to running 3 shifts a day, and they've got nearly 400 employees and keep growing because the law is every time you make a new bourbon, it's got to go into a new oak barrel. So there's more demand than there is supply for bourbon barrels. And we're lucky we have them close by. And that leads me to another common question is what do we do with all those empty barrels? We can't use them twice. So we use them for other stuff like the gin you just tasted or the apple brandy in the bourbon barrel or dessert drink at the end too. But most of them go back to the cooperage in a buyback program, and then they'll eventually batch all their customers' barrels and send them to Scotland, and then Scotch distilleries make Scotch with them. So
there you go, Scott.
yeah, they have a cool tour too. I don't know if it's totally public, but like the guys who work back here went said it was awesome. So as they're making them, they like they pour the tops on. If the barrel rolls down a conveyor belt and stops in front of a flamethrower, basically that scorches the inside. And so there's 5 different levels of char, depending on how long they burn it for. And we mostly use the highest level 5 because the theory is the more you char the wood, the more potential there is to exchange flavor between the white oak and the bourbon. And that's also what gives bourbon the caramel flavor. So like there's sugar molecules in the wood that get activated by the burning, and so it makes it sweeter. And then we also use some level 2, 3, and 4 barrels to enhance the flavor of our blends. And this is neat too. So this is the soak line. So as the barrels are aging in here for a few years, the wood expands and contracts throughout the seasons as the temperature rises and falls, and then that sucks the liquid this deeply into the wood, which is where the exchange of the flavor molecules occurs between the white oak and the bourbon. And so the white oak's got vanilla and give bourbon vanilla flavors, and the tannins give it the pretty color. So it's all just a natural process that depends on the wood more than anything. So like every time we open one, it's going to taste different. You know, even if they stay on the same palate 4 or 5 years, they're all going to have different flavor profiles when we open them. So it's just dependent on the chemistry in the wood. So like maybe this one has more tannins, this wood could have more vanillin. The wood in these barrels could have come from trees in a forest in a different region. So it all just works together to give bourbon its distinctive flavor characteristics that people are looking for. And we'll blend the more similar ones into our blends, and then the more distinctive ones,
become a single barrel release. And that's your opportunity to like really get the full flavor potential of a bourbon, because each one turns out different. And so when we find one that's exceptional, we'll like release it just in our shop or do like a special release through OHLQ in the summertime with like certain single barrels. And they're super potent. So like if we put it in 115 to 120 proof, it goes in totally full, but after 4 or 5 years, it's going to be down to here. So we'll lose 20 to 25% to evaporation. And as that's happening, the alcohol content's rising. So the average single barrel release is probably like 128 proof, but it might be very sweet too, or like have interesting spice notes. So they're very good. And then that evaporation too is called the angel share. So that's the ethanol is drifting up to heaven for the angels to enjoy. So they like bourbon too, I've heard. So now it's taste them. So grab one of these Glencairn glasses. Okay.
I think this is the first tour I've ever been on that actually gives you a Glen. Everything else is, I mean, even at the end, most of them aren't true Glens. It's awesome.
And so the first thing we'll taste is not bourbon, but brandy. So brandy's got to be made with 100% fruit juice. And this is apple brandy. So it starts out as cider at a farm in Elyria. And then we get it here, ferment it, distill it, and then age it 2 years in a neat bourbon barrel. So it's oaky and appley. And at this time of year, it makes really nice spice cider.
You can just add mine. Thank you, Joe. I am, but I'll let you. What proof is that?
80 proof.
Okay.
So all of our blended products are going through an upgrade, and so this apple brandy is the first one that we've totally finished the process, and so it's called slow water reduction. So like I said, the barrel, the bourbon or whatever, the brandy is going to evaporate a lot, and the alcohol content is going to rise. So if we need to get it to 80 proof or 90 or 100, we've got to dilute it with water. So what we used to do, and what most craft, what any distillery does, is just they'll like pour a bunch of barrels into a tank and blast it with water until they get to the desired ABV, but you blast out some of the flavor along with it. So what we do now is just take a 1 liter bottle of water and drip it in drop by drop. It takes like 3 months to fill up again, and then we test the ABV as it goes and make notes, and then once it gets up to like 90 or 100 or wherever we want it, then we can filter it and bottle it. So by doing that, we like preserve the hydrogen ions that are like holding together the fatty acid chain that have formed between the distillate and the oak over the years, and so it just gives it like a better mouthfeel, like a more rich flavor. So this is the first one that's come out, and then like the blended bourbons are coming soon. So hopefully by January, like all of our products will be like that. And then the first bourbon is 4-year blend. So this is a blend of like any number of 4-year-old barrels plus some 5 and 6-year-old barrels. So every year in the fall, we release a bourbon that we finish 2 years in a used apple brandy barrel. So those are 6 years old, and then they make up 20% of this blend. But even though there's 5 and 6-year-old barrels in it, the law is you got to put the youngest year on the label, so it's the 4-year blend. And like dominant flavor notes in any bourbon are vanilla and caramel. You're going to get some like fruitier notes from the apple brandy barrels. Plus, our mash bill has more rye than a lot of other brands, so it makes it a bit spicy. So you might get like black pepper and cinnamon notes. So this one it's good enough to just drink on the rocks, but it's perfect for classic cocktails because it's got a nice spiciness that stands up well to whatever sweetness you add to your Manhattan or old fashioned.
What did you say your mash bill was again?
72% corn, 21% rye, and then the rest is barley.
Okay.
That corn goes higher than typical bourbons?
No, I think it's usually like somewhere in the 70s.
Is it really?
Weeded bourbons are pretty big right now. Do you guys have any plans of making a more weeded bourbon?
We've made some. So like this year, last year we made 1,200 barrels of bourbon, so we got pretty well caught up. And then this year we made 610 barrels of like our normal bourbon, and then started doing more rye. So in two years we'll have like a rye as part of our portfolio, and then we started doing weeded bourbons this year too, but they won't be ready for like 4 years.
Okay.
And then like more single malts, so those are even like longer age. So yeah, so we spent this year making other stuff like weeded.
So a lot of cool stuff coming from you guys then.
Right.
Awesome.
And then the next one is bottled and bond bourbon. So bottled and bond is a distinction in the bourbon world. It basically means that the distillery has to go through extra steps to make a high quality product. And it's because of this Bottled and Bond Act of 1897, which has a full history. So in the 1800s in Kentucky, moonshiners were trying to pass off their swill as aged bourbon, but they didn't want to take the time to age it. They just wanted to get that color and try to sell it for more. So they would add fruit juice or tobacco spit, rust, all this disgusting stuff that made people sick. And so the old school Kentucky bourbon producers got together and went to the government, said, hey, you guys got to help regulate these moonshiners out of our market. And the government told them, okay, sure, we'll be happy to help you. We'll regulate you. We'll tax you. It's going to be a wonderful relationship. And so the Bottled and Bond Act of 1897 was born. And fun fact, it was the first ever like consumer protection and foods act in the United States too. And it still says that you've got to age the bourbon at least 4 years. You've got to bottle it at exactly 100 proof. And then the most important part is you've got to produce everything in your own facility from beginning to end, which matters because it's common for small distilleries to buy thousands of gallons of whiskey from a big distillery and then bottle it, put their own label on it, and say it's theirs. But if you want to use the bottled and bond distinction on your label, you're not allowed to do that. So around here, we're the only distillery that makes an official bottled and bond bourbon, and it's really just a small batch. It's about 30 barrels a year that go into it, so it turns out really nice and smooth.
No.
Somebody from the Federal Tax and Trade Bureau came initially.
Jim, have you ever had any of theirs?
They could come.
Yeah, or just Watershed in general?
It's not more than
The first one we had was aged in the apple brandy.
Okay.
I've got a
Thank you.
bottle of that. I love bottle and bond.
Yeah.
Bottle and bond's hard to beat. It's typically, it's just, yep.
And when you compare it from one distillery to the next, it's apples to apples. Versus,
Yeah, right.
Everybody's on the same playing field with what we're tasting.
How long have you guys been distilling your own product? Or did you guys start as a NDP or anything, or?
So the 4-year blend still has barrels from MGP, and
Okay.
every other product of ours is all our own juice.
Awesome.
And so most of that's because when we were starting, we needed to, and then during COVID time, we needed to buy extra to meet demand, and so we still have all those barrels from 2020 that are have reached their 4 or 5 years, and we got to use them, so they go in the blend. And
Nice.
But yeah, everything else is all ours.
Cool. That's pretty good.
There's got to be a story behind that whole
I was gonna ask.
Yeah. So
Single barrel?
in September, we had a bourbon festival. So I think it was September 15th, but whatever the date was the 7th birthday of that barrel. So people, it was sitting down here and people could come and take their picture with it and sign it. And then it had a brother barrel that we bottled and sold that day. So that was a single barrel that sold out that day. It was really good. And then the next one is uncut, unfiltered. So this one won a national award last year. And it's a blend of usually about 10 barrels per batch that are 4 to 6 years old. So there's one guy here who's the cask manager. So he's responsible for knowing what to grow, how old it is, when to open it. He's the guy that determines how to blend it. So he'll choose 10 barrels that he thinks are going to blend perfectly, and he's trying to make each batch taste distinctive. And so the uncut part means that it's not diluted. So this one is batch 4 at 122.6 proof, and then the unfiltered part means you're going to get more like oak flavor and wood smoke from it. So even though it's potent, it's smoother than you might imagine.
Thank you. Oh, no way. I'd be hammered. Water. Doesn't matter. I drink the whole thing, Kelly. No. Yeah. It's barrel proof, right?
Yeah.
Barrel proof? Ooh, boy.
She's like, she's thinking about it. No, I was just, I got very hard.
Okay. Oh, that's good to hear.
It's very nice.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you get a Kentucky hug.
Yeah. Oh, it smells good. Pretty more oaky than I would have thought. Got Scott and Jim. Their Bourbon and Burns hoodies there. There's their whiskey thief. Right there, one of them anyway. Got to skinny it in here. Look at this.
So this is our barrel port. So we made this a few months ago and trying to come back. And then like these two rows are they say heavy toast or medium toast, and that's like a slower burn. It's supposed to make the bourbon sweeter and smoother. So we're about 2 years old, and then like 2 years from now we'll start the idea is to start blending them into our blends. And then the 18-month stamp means when they make the stave the first time, they leave the wood outside in the barn to season it, and then that's what makes the tannins dissipate. And so they season it at least 6 months and then up to 24 months. So nowadays we're like investing some of the longer aged ones, and ultimately it'll make our bourbon taste better. So we're always like doing little things with the aging process and incrementally improving the taste of our products over the years.
Yeah.
And then the states are old fashioned back here. So this is an old fashioned in a bottle. So it's the first bourbon, but then we add Ohio cherry juice, bitters, and a little simple syrup, and dilute it from 90 proof to 70 proof. So these go down super smooth and easy. It's meant to just like grab
Right,
a bottle,
Kelly?
take it to a rice, flip it to rice.
You don't know the whole story.
I will.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Try it again one more time. Like a hurricane, right? You gotta try it.
Thank you. Cool hoodie Joe's wearing.
So
that's
I mean,
so
that was
It's very
Sure. Like, we use some kind of bitters from Brewery that you don't see in the store, but they've got like nice cinnamon.
Cheers, everybody. Oh, that's really good.
So there's no fear.
That's
It's okay. It's okay again. Yes. It's delicious. It's like, yeah. One glass.
I bet it's better than that other one.
Really?
Yeah,
I think so.
I do.
I'm sure you can get it.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
Can we have a sample? He's got
Oh yeah.
that.
Done with the uncut
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's pretty good.
I ended up getting 2 samples of uncut in my wallet.
We do this one.
Get that bitter.
two barrels. Do you have a quality rating that they're all, you know, guaranteed not to leak, or have you had any quality issues with them?
I mean, it's a natural process.
Sure.
So, sometimes there's no glue or nails that
Yeah.
hold it together, so it's all itself getting by pressure. And then some of it can leak out, and then the sugars in the distillate make a seal, so it's like a freeze up almost. And then if it leaks too much, then they'll replace it.
So-
You have to remove like that one right there.
Yeah,
Remove?
Jenga.
yeah, it would be difficult.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
sure
happen
that-
often.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
It's just got to be the quality of the barrel.
yeah. I mean, they've never like totally burst. Like
Sure.
some will leak more than they should.
A couple of those over there that you're standing next to had some cracks in the
Yes.
board and stuff.
Yeah.
Just on the outer layer when there's.
Those ones are also 9 years old. So those were like some of the first ones that Cooperage made and some of the first ones we bought.
What is the oldest juice you guys have in here?
Like 8 and 9 years old. So I think there's like some, like those ones you're standing next to are like 9-year-old rye. And then our oldest release to date is an 8-year-old rye. So that came out like at the beginning of the summer. And then that's probably next year's version. And then there's like some 8-year-old bourbons that hopefully will become a 10-year release in the next few years.
Are they numbered? Like, how do you know what?
There's like a sticker on it that says what it is. And it's got a little spreadsheet now.
So I noticed you guys don't use a standard normal pallet. Is there a reasoning behind that?
I don't know. I never thought of that. I think just maybe these are sturdier and make the barrels fit better.
Okay.
More solid wood, maybe.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of weight.
A lot of weight, yeah.
Yeah. Just reminds me like more like old style wooden rick house which is cool. I think it's a cool effect, and whether it's designed that way or not, but
You guys ready to go try our dessert drink? Let's go back to the first room and we'll have no cheese.
Yeah, it gives you the fill date, what spirit it is,
Oh, wow.
the reporting type, all that kind of stuff. Whatever that means.
Yeah, right.
so that's some 6-year juice. Rye.
So you gotta treat up and just say no. But otherwise, it's a safe drink. It's really delicious. And it's a kind of liqueur that's most common in Reggio Italy. So in that area, like between little towns and families, they have their own secret recipes and spice blends. But no matter where you make it, it's got to start by harvesting walnuts on the summer solstice, and then steep the walnuts in the base alcohol, add your spice blend and sugar. And in Italy, they'll let it sit until Christmas time, the bottom for the holidays, and year round in this area. Northern Italy is a common dessert drink. And here what we do is we'll steep it in our mix, and we'll steep our mix in our vodka for 4 to 6 months, and then age it at least a year in bourbon barrels. So that part is different than how they do it in Italy. And then the reason we started doing it has a cool story. It's all because of this guy named Charlie. So every bottle says thanks Charlie on the back. And he's a retired guy that lives around here. And his hobby is making infused Italian drink. So he's got limoncello, he's got one with fennel. And when the bar first opened, he would come in looking for Greg, the owner, bring mason jars, those motor oil looking stuff. And I said, Greg, you want to taste my Nocino? And I guess Greg was blowing him off for a long time because one, he didn't know what a Nocino was, and two, he was nervous about trying some guy's homebrew and getting or something. So he kept blowing him off. After several attempts, Charlie comes in one day and he's like, okay, Greg, today's the day you're going to taste my Nocino. I like it because this time I made it with your vodka and my family's secret recipe. So it's safe to drink, it's delicious, you're going to enjoy it. So Greg tasted it, he loved it, and then Charlie invited him over to his annual Nocino making party. And he lives nearby, and he's got a couple big old black walnut trees in his property. So Greg went over there, he's having a good time. Charlie showed him how to harvest the walnuts and shared the recipe with him and taught him the process. And then
after dinner, Charlie shows everybody a pull vanilla bean ice cream and poured no cheese on it. And so after Greg tasted that, he was totally sold. So it's like, all right, Charlie, you got me. I'm ready to buy your family secret recipe, whatever it costs. Give me a number, and I'll write you a check tonight. And Charlie says, Greg, you don't get it. The whole time I've been going to a bar and talking to it's not because I just go in there trying to make myself here. I'm happily retired. I've got everything I need. But what I really like nowadays is somebody making Chino for me because I'm getting tired of doing it all by myself in the kitchen. And more importantly, I'm getting old now. Somebody carry on the tradition. So you agree to do it the right way. I'll just give you the recipe free and you can make future generations happy with the Chino. So that's all I'll learn.
It's awesome. That's why bourbon's the best.
Always a good story.
Always.
You know?
The history and everything else.
Look how dark that is.
The video the other day of them steeping black walnuts and then taking like traps, trappers, take old traps, and they actually soak them in that and turn them black to change the rust to black using black walnut water.
Keeps them
Looking.
rusting worse. Yeah.
Wow.
So how do you guys like that?
That is sweet. Those are really good.
Yeah, it's not something you get days in Ohio.
Yeah.
There's only like 3 or 4 distilleries in the
Dangerous.
So like in Italy, it's a dessert drink. We will have after dinner, but it's also basically the back end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's making ice cream happen real fast. Pretty awesome. Put it in a chocolate martini or some coffee.
You gotta try it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really
Actually, this is that really good on a pancake.
Sweet honey.
lots of honey.
This would have been perfect.
That's really good.
Oh yeah. Put it in the mix.
Pecan. Yeah.
In the mix.
Black walnut. Your grandfather would have freaking done that.
Yeah, but then we'd have to start picking all the black walnuts.
Isn't that what kids are for?
So who had a favorite thing today?
Well, right now, this is my favorite. The second is old fashioned, believe it or not.
Hey, I brought her back.
Uncut. Uncut.
Yeah, that was good.
One of the
Yeah.
gins was really good too.
Yeah,
Strawberry.
The strawberry. I like that first.
I like,
The
okay,
first one real orangey. That was really
that, okay, that was the light one, right?
Yeah.
That'd be a really good one for aviation.
Aviation,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
What's in that? I mean,
Whatever he puts in it.
Whatever.
just feel like you're flying.
Lemon juice, maraschino, and creme de violet.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah.
What's your favorite?
It just depends, like what I'm going to eat or what my mood is, or you know what kind of cocktail I want to make. Like mostly, I still drink our gin, and then I also like making a lot of different bourbon cocktails too. So
What's your
I
go?
think my favorite bourbon that we've made though is the one that comes out in December. So it's bourbon aged 2 years, and it's using a Chino barrel. So it's a 6-year old, and then it's always like on average like 125 proof, and then the sweetness and nuttiness of the Chino comes through and mellows it out. So that's awesome. That's our best one. So like, go on the website and then like sign up for the email list, and then you'll be notified. So we just started the lottery for it this week, so it's gonna come out like December 10th around there.
Is that a OHLQ or is
No, it's only in our pop shop. Yeah.
And that's a lottery item, right?
Yeah.
Not a OHLQ release or anything like that.
Yeah.
Really?
Put it to the next year, right?
it's enough?
I'm really curious.
And then we have other fall finishing bottles too that you can try toasted oak bourbon or the bourbon finishing the maple syrup barrel is outstanding. So we'll use bourbon barrels to a farm around the Lions, and then it's called Sweetwater.
Cash.
And they age their maple syrup in 6 months, and then send us the maple syrup bottles to sell in the shop. And then just yesterday, our barrel manager went and picked up, I think, about 8 barrels that they had, used for aging maple syrup, and then we'll put our your 5-year-old bourbon in it for, I think it's like 3 or 4 months, and then it's just enough to like give it a nice maple taste, but not make it over sweet. So it's really nice. You can taste that across the street too. And a bourbon convention, a port wine cask too is great. So that's you can ask for a sample across the
So is there any way to get a bourbon barrel?
like an empty one.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can buy them at the shop and come pick it up. They're like I think $175.
Okay.
That's what we have for our tables. In the workshop, 2 of them. You can use round tops for like picking photos.
Yeah.
Hoppin' frog.
Right on top.
Yeah, so that's all we got for you guys.
Thirsty dog.
Amazing.
You know that like as bourbon ages, at least some of the angels in heaven. If you want to leave me a pour out chair before you go, I'd be eternally grateful. And then if you want to get a photo back there before you leave, I'll take a picture in the barrel robe, and then you can go across the street to the shop and get a few more samples if you want, and take home whatever.
You can do a group picture.
Yeah. So we're here at Watershed. Scott, what did you think?
I think it's pretty good. I think their product's pretty good. They had a wide variety. I'm looking forward to some more aged things. A lot of their stuff seems to be a little bit young, but I'm still happy with it. The new Chino was really, really good, though. That is a black walnut. I would call it a liqueur more than a whiskey or a bourbon. But pretty good stuff. If you're ever in Columbus, I would give this place a stop. It was definitely a fun tour.
I don't even know if I could. I'd be like,